In the early 90s, tourism were just becoming a factor in the southern part of Belize, in Placencia village where I live. And Laughing Bird Caye here was one of the most unique destinations that we could come and picnic for the day. It also has one of the best snorkeling ground, best swimming ground, best diving ground.
Well, we just take our lunch and we picnic on the beach, we swim, we look at the fishes.
I actually went out there with my dad for the very first time. It was like the first time I even went, the farthest I ever went,
We used to fish right there, and we used to like to catch the snappers. They were big snappers, dog teeth and all kind.
There were talks that, there was a local Belizean that wanted the island to actually put up a hotel.
We couldn't afford this island to be privately owned and developed.
The community got together and decided that maybe it's time for us to take this to the government and see if there is something that can be done.
Let's get together and see how receptive this central government would be if we had asked them to set aside this island.
Yeah, we took that to the government. They welcome it with open arms.
And we talked to the government and to the fisheries department and to the forestry department.
But then we realized that there were other fishing communities that was using these areas.
Which was Saint Bite, Placencia, Monkey River,
Independence and Hopkins.
And the fishermen were the main concern at the time. At the time, I was still a full-time commercial fisherman as well.
Well, a majority was for it, but there was some people that needed to be educated and know that what is a national park.
And I think they did excellent in their consultations about showing the pros and the cons.
The first thing you'll notice when you jump into a fully protected zone of a marine reserve is that there's a lot of fish. There's this abundance of fish and lobster and conch that you can see that you would never see anywhere, anywhere else. And it's just amazing to see how much life fits in one small area when it's protected. Areas where no one takes anything out. Those are the one area where you can build up a large stock of fully grown big mama fish. The larger the fish gets, the increase in egg production is exponential. These reserves, we should think of them as the baby factories. It's where we're producing the fish that will then, the eggs and larvae will be carried all around the reef system, and they won't be staying inside the protected area. But in order to get the real benefit of having those big mamas, we have to have enough of them to make a difference. Communities tend to make pretty good decisions, and they understand when resources are particularly fragile and in need of protection. So I think it's just sitting with them and deciding where.
Protected areas are more often viewed as locking off resources from people. On the contrary.
The fishermen are so happy right now with those patrolling that we're doing, because when the season opens, the fishermen can go directly to those multi-use areas and they have good harvest.
A protected area provides a space that you could have focus management, you could have presence, full-time presence, and you could have all the fisheries laws enforced there more efficiently than open wide spaces.
We all agreed on maybe making the 1 mile area around the Caye a no-take zone.
And finally it became a national park.
Some of the fishermen thought, well, we are trying to keep stuff away from them, and not giving them the access. But on the end, at this time, we can see the result, benefits of it.
And a lot of fish is coming back. That's the reason why they got national parks. You could see tons of fish in those national parks. Like right around Laughing Bird Caye there. You could go there, you could see lobster, conch, all kinds of things, rays, sharks.
So we got 110% more than what we were trying to get at the beginning. Quite a few years after, the fishermen are so happy to see what they have achieved over the period of time, what Laughing Bird Caye has become.
The fishing community and the people who are using the areas were the people at the front advocating for protection.
We can and we will make it work, because the foundation is and has always been the local communities.
You know, anything good, you have to fight for it.
Individually, you can't do anything much, but by a group, you have a lot of voice, and that's what they did.
Because it was a community effort and a community request, and the community is involved in the process, it became a success story.
And it gives us something to look forward to. You know, it's our national park.
It's so important that the idea and the vision came from the local people.
And in a country like Belize, where you have real constraints in terms of resources, you need to have good partnerships and you need to have good collaboration. So that has worked.
We as a fishing community recognize how crucial no-take zone is to continued fishing in Belize. Our motto is fish forever, and to do that we must be responsible fishermen. So we recognize that if we are to fish forever, that increasing no-take zone and then being a part of the enforcement of these zones is crucial to the future of Belize.